Alrighty, well, hey everyone.
That's pretty cool. We are so delighted to be here with you. Day one of this I'm Brave challenge. You may be seeing us for the very first time. It's unlikely, but just in case. My name is Anthony. It's my beautiful wife, Kate. We've been high school sweethearts for together longer than half of our lives. Let's put it that way.
Let's put it that way.
We have 3 beautiful children. We are here in northern New South Wales. And first of all, we just want to honour you for spending some time with us. It's our most valuable commodity. And we are just so honoured that we can give our gift. We know in our heart of hearts why we're here, what we're here to do. And it's so much easier to do it when people listen. So we are here to be influential, to inspire you from a really happy place. So I'd love for you to pop into the comments. Where are you dialing in from? And what's life like at the moment? So let's start to hear from everyone. One of the keys of this group, you're going to get out of it as much as you put in. Like life. And so how you do anything is how you do everything. Mm-hmm. So if you're sitting on the sideline watching other people, you probably do that in life as well. If you're playing full out. But guess what? Every single day is a new opportunity to redefine who you are.
And how you play the game.
And so if you're typically the one who is sitting there and just kind of watching life, jump in. If you're the one who's like, comment, maybe you need to take a breath and just observe a little. So
we've got Natalie,
welcome everyone.
Joe, we've got Trisha, Soon, I hope I pronounced that correctly, hey Vanessa, Angela, we've got Diana in Bundaberg, Joe's from Harvey Bay, Kerry's from the Gold Coast.
Hey Sharon.
Luke in Melbourne, amazing. So the more interaction, we just love that. And you're going to get to know us. If you haven't spent much time with us before, we balance each other out pretty well, don't we?
Yeah, yin and yang.
Anthony loves talking lots, and I love bringing things down to how do we make it practical to now. So you're going to get a really good mix of, the mindset stuff, but all right, how do I apply that to my life right now? So, and we'll have some laughs as well.
So I'm the head in the clouds and Kate has her feet on the ground. I'm about the vision. She's about how do we take the steps today. So you'll hear from both of us. But we want to get straight into this. And really the first thing that we want to talk about is, I guess, a little bit of a code of conduct. You might have heard of that with a corporation or something like that. So get rid of previous understandings of that and just think about how do we want to show up collectively and what can we agree to. And the first thing that I want to put forward is that we have no C word, we have no V word, and we have no P word in here. So
what do you mean by that?
What
Tell us
do we
what
mean by
that
means. No COVID talk, no virus or vax talk, no politics or pedophile talk. Now, I'm not saying that that is not dear to your heart or ours, but there's a time and a place for that. And I don't know about your feed, but when I open, it is just inundated with it.
Yeah. Now, that's also not to say that your life is not personally affected right now, and that's different to we just don't want this group to be filled with watch this, what about this. That's not what this is for. This is about focusing on the future. So if your life is personally affected by those things right now, that's totally okay to talk about. It's just not bringing all of that in, because there is many places that you can find that. So if you guys agree to that, give us a high five, give us some love, some likes, some comments. I agree, whatever that is, just so we can get the feedback from the group. And if we see that kind of posting, we are going to delete it and we're going to let that person know if they haven't kind of, yes, awesome, let's keep it positive in here. Brilliant, I like it. Good stuff. All right, so that's the first thing that we wanted to make sure that you guys are on the same page, because otherwise maybe this isn't the right place for you.
There's a place for everyone.
Of course.
So the next thing, as far as the housekeeping, I know that some people, you're in the Facebook group, obviously watching this, and you're, oh my God, I know this person, that, and you invited everyone into the Facebook group. And that's fabulous. And last minute, we let them all in. But what you want to be doing is sharing this link with people so that they can register on the way in, because then when we have people's emails at the end of every day, every lesson, we're going to be sending a PDF to your inbox. There'll be a replay of the recording and some little extra stuff as well.
And also some resources for you to start applying what we're teaching. So if you haven't registered there and you happen to be watching this, it's because a dear friend who cares about you has invited you in here. We just let you in, but to get the most out of it, you're really going to want to register there. And as well, after today, if you're like, whoa, I'm already thinking of people, it's not too late to invite them in as well. So we encourage you to pay it forward from today. So just wanted to let you guys know about that as well.
So you are the pioneers, you are the foundation, people literally watching this live. Now, if you're watching this as a replay, pop in replay. But also, Kate just mentioned, this is not a 7-day start finish. It is for you guys, but if you're hearing something going, I want to add this person, send them that link. And this will remain open after the 7 days.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be a resource for people globally. We will circle back and go through the topics. I'm going to turn this into an ebook and a book. Okay, it's literally going to be a cure for the common life. It's been in me for about a decade, but it's very clear how I'm going to lay it out now. So this, I want to be our gift. And in case you are not aware, all of the proceeds, like we don't receive anything. You would have seen on the way in that there's Operation Underground Railroad. We'll share that at the end, but there's a place that you can pay it forward.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show you as well, some people maybe don't know how to use Facebook groups or find their way around them, and I just want a little bit more housekeeping, and then we're going to kick straight into it. If you are on a computer, when you are on the computer, you'll see a little tab over to the left-hand side where it says units. That's where the recordings and the resources are also going to be sitting. So if people aren't able to watch live, the replays will be available for each day in this unit section. Or if you're on your phone, you at the top of your menu on your phone, when you're in this group, you're going to see the units right here as well. So you can just click on that and you'll be able to see the resources for day 1, day 2, day 3, and all the way through. So just wanted to make sure you guys know where to find that, because sometimes it's good to get a visual of things as well.
So last thing before we dive into today, who can finish this sentence for me? To know and not do. Who's got it? Who can type it? How many people know how to finish this? To know and not do. Who's in it? Come on.
Maybe there's a delay. I don't know.
There might be a delay. People are typing.
Yeah.
Or maybe
you've got them stumped. That's okay.
Or people are going, oh, what if I get it wrong? To know and not do is to not know. Okay? So why, there we go, Jess, all over it.
There we go.
Is to not know. There's this delay. Everyone's like, do. Beautiful. Why do I bring that up? You are a conscious group. You are aware, okay? And so a lot of what we talk about, you will at least have an awareness of it. You may have seen it, read about it, done it, did a course at some stage. And so if you have this filter on going, I know that, I've done that,
I've heard that before,
you're not going to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
So I would love that you just kind of wipe the slate clean, and we have a child just arrived home, wipe the slate clean, put on fresh eyes, and devour everything as if it's the first time you've seen it.
Yeah.
Sit in your seat of curiosity, because that's the learning state. Be curious about everything. Be engaged. Now, You may honestly go through all of these 7 things and go, I'm actually applying all of that, and have a sense of pride about that. Your mission then is to pay it forward. So you may going, well, actually I haven't taught my children this, and that would be a really good thing to do. It may be that you want to pour into someone, so you share the link. So full engagement, playing full out. That kind of wraps up the housekeeping.
Yeah.
How long did that take us?
Nailed it, like 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh, we are on it.
Yes.
So that officially brings us to day 1.
Let's do this.
The
I'm excited.
The I'm Brave challenge.
Yeah.
You have a cool noise for it? Kate
I
found
can
this
do
toy.
it.
Yeah.
Get ready. It's officially started, and I'm so excited. Yes, I will bring a little bit of humor to this because sometimes when we learn and it's fun, it sinks in that little bit more. Anyway.
It does, or distracts me. So, how can we help you, Zara? Can I go to Ivy's Love You? We love you too. You can go to Ivy's.
Okay, so let's kick things off. Today,
the I'm Brave challenge. Yes, go.
No, you go.
The I is for input or inspiration. Inspire. So let's just kind of go over a brushstroke of this. In fact, I want to do one thing first. The whole I'm brave. Let's talk about what it means to be brave. If you just bring the playbook up for a moment, this is what you're going to find in the unit section. So we're going to have the 5 pages there. So 7 days to find your voice, focus your vision, and to live your values. But the thing I wanted to talk about was this. What does it mean when you say I'm? We're going to go into this strongly on the affirmations day, because whatever you say after the word I'm is how you identify yourself. And in the human psyche, one of the strongest forces is to remain true to how you identify yourself. Okay? And so when you say I'm brave, brave has an adjective. Okay? So showing courage or to be bold. And I know the world needs that. What if you just had a little bit more bold? Pop in there, give me some love if you know that you are playing less than a 10 out of 10 on your capacity to be bold. Or give me a bit of a score, like out of 10, how bold have you been? Some of you, I know you're like a 12 out of 10, but show where are we at with that? As you do that, I want to continue to chat about, I've always had this affinity for Indigenous cultures. Whether it's the Australian Indigenous people, whether it's Native American Indians, whether it's Eskimos, whatever it might be, they're such a beautiful cultures who I feel got it right. They lived with the land, on the land, part of the land, and it was all about community. It was all about observing cycles, okay? Having responsibilities connected with privileges. And it was such a beautiful time. And when I kind of came up with the brave, I instantly had this image of this Native American warrior, this brave. So whether it was a female warrioress or a warrior, and having that tenacity where you think of what they went through, okay? Where they're living beautifully in harmony with nature, with animals, like literally feeling, breathing the plants, nurturing, loving that. And then white man comes along, Spanish, English, whatever part of the world, and is literally fighting, taking everything that you value. And from a place of love, that you're fighting for a cause, but you're going to take a stand for that. So that's what it means to me to be brave. And then the last thing, of course, is the verb. So to endure or face unpleasant conditions without showing fear. It's not that fear isn't there, but it's going, how do I shift that and do what I know is right, do what I know is my true north. Polish, Native American. So I'm brave, it's inspired, motion, breath, resonate, affirmation, vision. I want to just pause on the vision for a second, because vision, if you're watching this live or during the 7 days or even after, the key, I think the culmination of this, so Each day is going to build upon the last. And then when we hit that vision day, we're going to spend a little bit of extra time. It'll probably be however long it goes. But I'm going to an in-depth process that I'm so excited about. I've done this all over the world on stages with people, up to 10,000 plus, right down to little intimate groups. And I know that part of my skill set, my zone of genius, is taking people through this process and helping them realize their vision. So that'll be next Thursday night. Now, again, you might have people going, I'm brave, challenge, whatever. They don't want to be a part of that. But if you get them to that workshop, I know there's huge, huge value in that.
Yeah.
So we get to...
I was just going to say, looking at people's scores on what they were rating themselves, anywhere from a 3 through to a 10, rating yourself on how bold you are being in life right now. So it's good to see the spectrum, and some people's strengths are our weaknesses and vice versa. So I really see this group being able to help each other along the journey to just increase and improve in certain areas of our life.
So one of our mentors, and if you don't know, we did a documentary, I don't know how many years ago,
7 years
called
ago.
Overfed and Undernourished. And one of our mentors, we were so delighted because we did the documentary with him, and his name is Dr. John DeMartini. And one of the principles that he teaches is the law of lesser pisses. All right? So it's just come to me because when you're not bold for me means living your values, speaking your truth, sharing your voice, and having that vision for what's true to you. And when you're bold, you just do that. When you're not, it's usually because you have some kind of fear or worry that someone will judge you, you will lose a friend, whatever that might be. And so all the while you bite your tongue. And so Dr. DeMartini says, I would rather have the entire world against me than my own conscience. So it's the law of lesser pisses. I would rather the whole world is pissed off at me than I lay my head on the pillow at night and I'm pissed off at myself.
Yeah. Who can relate to that? Give us some love. I remember hearing that for the first time and going, ooh, yeah, that's some truth right there.
Because it's a good segue into the I, which is input, inspired, influence, in spirit. It's all about going within, all right? And also being deliberate about what we allow to go in. So that's going to be every day we're going to have principles that we teach, which we're kind of doing now. Then we're going to have practicals. And like I would say with the practicals, it's kind of pointless to take the principles on and not apply them. The best way to apply them or to learn something is in the doing, all right? So input. We all have a hierarchy of values of things that are most important to us through to the least important. And so we'll go through at some stage, not in great depth because it's not the format. We definitely do it in our academy. But when you get a sense of what's most important to least important to you, and you have those values in alignment and you live by those values, you are in flow. You are in your zone of genius. Can someone count how many times I use the word in? Because that's what it's all about. So you have this innate desire, okay? You have this innate wisdom where you are always internally guided. And so when you have that influence within, you are fluent within, now you have influence on the outside.
Yeah.
But most people are trying to gain everyone's approval to fill up to then be worthy enough, when it doesn't work that way. You need to be so in love with who you are, all of the parts that you don't own, okay? The warts and all. And when you have that organization, when you have that sense of who you are and you have that love for yourself, not in a look at me, because we can tell the difference. I think our radars are pretty finely tuned when we've got that I'm so reluctant to use the word influencer now because for me, like, it is the core of someone's being. To be an influencer, like on Instagram and the glossy photos, I'm not saying the people that do that don't have it on the inside, but there's a lot that's just like, I can pitch, I can sell out there, and I look glossy, but for the most part, it's what's going on in here. So, to be fluent within, you need to be deliberate on what you allow in.
Yeah.
So right now, just to give me, because I said something just earlier, I hope you picked it up. The greatest source of your stress is having your values, or you not living your values, or you're not living in a line with your highest values.
Or you know what's important to you in life, but that's not playing out in day to day, if we kind of bring it into a practical sense, yeah?
So let that sink in for a moment. And as you do, I'd love you to answer this question. What is your greatest source of stress right now? Now, this isn't the place right now to be happy, positive, no, everything's amazing. Just take a breath in and think, what has been pissing me off? What has been giving me just like,
Yeah.
the ulcers, the sleepless nights, the charge in my nervous system.
Where you feel your heart rate increasing and your face getting flushed.
Injustice.
Yeah.
I like it, Joe. This is the place, guys,
Yeah,
to
we're
have a
allowed to
little bit of a vomit,
Yeah.
all right?
World
events.
Totally
I'm
get
even
it.
gonna let you this once for this one question.
If people need to say it, we're
You can
allowed,
use
yeah.
the C or the V or the P word.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just this once for this question.
Now, this could also be restrictions. Yeah, someone telling you what you can do and when you can do it. Absolutely.
Loss of freedom.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Not being motivated.
Loss of freedoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it could be your kids. It could be like something really simple, like your boss is annoying you as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be external from a worldly sense. It could be your level of health. It could be, there's so many different things. The dollars in the bank account. There's lots of stuff. Global ignorance, deception, sleep deprivation. Yeah. Threat of our health freedom. Yeah. Insecurity.
Where do I start? The lies, the deception, insecurity. Look at you go, Kelly. That's inward. People who are asleep to all what is going on, erosion of our simple rights,
Putting yourself
inverted
out
fallacies,
there.
human rights smashed for so many, lies. I get it. Confusion about career path,
Awesome.
going over the same ground. Some people feel like, I was just getting somewhere, whether it's savings in the bank account, now it's decimated. I was building beautiful relationships and now something's come between us because topics we don't normally have to talk about, everything, all of the biggies that you never talk about
Yeah.
are hot topics now. And so it's getting in between relationships. Son losing his second kidney transplant. If I give him one of my kidneys, the deceit of the world. Sorry to hear, Tanya. Fear about future, control, loss of freedom. You guys are going nuts. I love it.
We had a friend of ours who had her dream trip planned with her family to Europe for 2 months, and it was like she's been hanging out for this for 2 years, and obviously it hasn't happened, and then hasn't been able to get half the money back. And so right now she's like sitting at home, like so upset and frustrated and not knowing if she's ever gonna be able to go on the trip. Feeling lonely, yeah. Confusion
Indoctrination by
financially.
mainstream media. Speaking my language, Mark. Confusion about what to do financially. So,
When you have to go back to Melbourne.
it's just good, guys. It's good to get it out. So if we let that and sometimes it's good just to get it out. Again, that one of the first processes we take people through in our academy is this anger letter. This process where very specifically, you think you go to the toilet every day and that's a natural thing. It's not weird. You don't judge it. You don't come and tell everyone, look what I did. It's just a process of clearing stuff that's gone in that has to come out.
Yeah.
And then emotionally, for some reason, we don't do it.
And
So-
just as a side note, I guess if you have a partner or a friend or someone who's on the same page as you, sometimes it's just nice. Writing it out is really good, but sometimes I'll just say to Anne, hey, I just need to vent. Which means I don't need you to fix it. I don't need you to like do anything, but I just need to like deflate. And she's pissed me off and this is going on, blah, 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 blah. And I know I sound like ungrateful and I know I should be focusing on this stuff, but I'm not, and blah, 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 blah. And then he's like, okay, is there anything else? And then he knows he doesn't have to fix it or necessarily share an opinion. And then I feel so much better and I move on. So if you have someone like that in your life, sometimes that's a good thing to let them know, hey, I just got a vent right now. I don't need you to fix it, but let me just get this out and then I'll feel better. And it feels really good.
And if I'm ever confused, I'll ask, am I fixing this or am I just listening?
Because guys like to fix stuff. They'll come in with, well, you should just do this, or why don't you just call them? Or I'm like, So when you don't want them to fix it and they try, then that's a great source of frustration.
So I just got to know, am I just sitting in the shit with Kate and just feeling it and feeling her, or am I putting my fix-it pants on? And most of the time it's not the fix-it pants, because Kate is more than capable, and I just watch
and we do this with our daughter in particular, and she does exactly the same thing. So just a handy little side note, because if you have someone you can vent to, amazing. It's not to then just continually perpetuate crappy conversation. Get it out, feel better, and then move on. So
yes, J-Man, we are due back to the Maldives for a surf trip.
Okay,
we'll get there.
So let's move on to the next question, because most of you right now, if I was to say to you, Tanya, J-Man, Sharon, what do you actually know that what do you know deep in your heart that you should be doing right now that you're not? Or what do you need to be stopped doing? Like, what's something that you're doing right now that is not serving you?
Because the whole input thing, I'm going to bring this up, and it's in the resources. There's 2 books that I would really recommend that you read or reread or have on audiobook at the moment. One is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, and the other one is Unbroken, and we've got the author in there. These are people who lived through really, really dire times. And it wasn't what was going on around them. It's always the internal game.
Yeah.
And so all the things you just wrote aren't happening to you. They're happening for you. How you process them and how you internally come up with a meaning to them is your reality. And so there's things that Kate said, there's things that you just want to stop watching, reading, or listening to.
And you know this. You know exactly what you should be doing or stop doing, but we're still getting caught up in it. So, Catherine, she needs to stop procrastinating. Madeline, feeding into fear. Raylene, sitting on Facebook for too long yet, looking for answers, worrying.
So Kate's dad, he's the salt of the earth, Oka, amazing, amazing guy. And he taught the kids how to make fire. But the first thing he said is, fire can be your greatest friend or your worst enemy.
Yeah.
And when I hear that, I think of social media. Social media can be your greatest friend. Here we are. We're not a big fan of Zuckerberg and all of the censoring and all that. But here we are connecting on the platform that they gave us. For free. And helping people and so we can use fire, we can use social media, we can use Facebook, Instagram, to all of the stuff, YouTube, for incredible benefit, good growth. Or you can just put yourself into the absolute most dismal state. But who's doing it? It's you. It's the same thing. So people through this last 4 or 5 months have taken this to create incredible opportunity. Other people have allowed themselves to just get into a world of hurt.
Yeah.
So this is what this is right now.
So we need to stop giving power away, listening to American news, procrastinating. Okay, stop saying yes, Julie. I like that. No is a complete sentence. That's one of my things, because I would be the yes person to everyone all the time. Allowing others to dictate what I'm doing. Nice one, Vanessa. Stop social media. So stop social media.
Drinking too much cacao.
There you go. I like that. Awesome. So use it as a force for good, because it totally can be that. Like right now, we wouldn't be connecting with you otherwise if it wasn't for social. Just choose what's going in here. Choose what radio frequency you're tuning into.
Can you bring the playbook up
Absolutely.
briefly, please? Playbook, next one. You just got to go to the next page. There it is. Boom. Yep.
Yes.
So if we just click through, you're going to have this, by the way. This is going to be sitting in the units, and we're going to email this to you. But if we go to the next page, we've got this is where we start applying the action. So what are the things that you need to stop watching, stop listening to, and stop reading? That could be enough to totally transform your life, all right? And then the next thing is, well, what are the things that we need to start doing? So you think back, this is going to shock some of you, I get that, and you probably don't even want to do it. But if you did a time audit, we just bring that down. If you did a time audit, and back at the start, maybe March or whatever, and you had the opportunity to spend 30 minutes to 3 hours a day on something that was inspired by your deepest thoughts, your deepest desires. You might be in a job, in an employment that you're really not happy with, and you want to be a photographer. You want to be a online entrepreneur, whatever it might be, something to get you to that state. And here we are 5-6 months on, and all of the hours that you've spent going through, being at the cutting edge of every news release and this theory and that video, and you just have this heaviness.
Yeah.
There's a part of you that go, oh, I'm on it because I know as much as there is to know. But what's the lost opportunity?
And the cost.
You could have learnt a language.
Yeah.
You could have written a book. You could have
started a podcast.
There's so much, and
transformed your body, your health.
I'm hoping that for some of you, this is creating a little bit of a stirring to go, oh. But this is the thing. It's today's line in the sand going, where am I going to be by the end of the year? What are the things that, if I could have life exactly how I want it, how would I be spending more of my time? And then you'll start to get a sense, what's a better way to spend my time? For some of you, you've been so worried about the directive and this mandate and all of that. And if that's truly how you want to spend your time, you could have been following certain groups or mentors or wise people and knowing your rights inside out that gives you such a sense of calm and certainty and presence that then you can be the lighthouse to shine awareness on. So be so deliberate in how you focus your time. These are your four pillars that you can control in every second of every day. How you TEEFM, you probably want to write it down. TEFM, your time, your energy, your focus, and your finances or money. TEF, let's just call it TEF because I don't like money anymore. Time, energy, finances, focus. So how you use those things, and it make it really simple. So if we bring the playbook back up, what are the things you need to stop doing? And there's only 3 ways you take the information in: what you watch, what you listen to, and what you read.
Yeah.
There's also actions. We're going to get to that later in the week. So I'd love you now to shift gears. Kate already started to ask the question, and it's one of my all-time favorite questions. Questions are the answers. Ask better questions, have a better quality of life.
Yeah.
So the question I love to ask people whenever I meet them is this one: what has got you inspired lately? And I'd love you to write that down. And this, I want this to be something where if you, you've read an incredible book, or there's a podcast that you love, or there's a piece of music that you have that just put you in state, like I played for you guys at the start here. And we're going to be hearing from Mark, who did that piece of music, later when we get to the Resonate Day. And so I'd love you to start putting in there and starting to think about, what are the things that put me into an inspired state?
Mm-hmm. It could be certain people to spend time around. It could be that your next door neighbour. Amazing. How good's that? It's nice to have nice neighbours. That's awesome, Raylene.
Ours dob us in and have the cops turn up. Anyway. Kate's podcast.
Oh, thanks,
beautiful.
Jess. I appreciate that. Think about, it could be, it could be patting a dog, or it just could be getting outside in nature.
Eat That Frog, great book.
Yeah.
Cooking healthy food, my art, I like it. You guys,
Guys, thanks. There's so many different things that you can do, but often, I think back to when everything happened, like in April or whatever, and we met more neighbours in our little area in that time when people were given time to actually, and I know some people still have time right now, but where no one was working, where everyone was at home, everyone was outside, people were like, oh my gosh, look, and it was just this whole new appreciation. And what was really interesting, we said to each other, wouldn't it be interesting to see if what is really important to people right now is something they carry forward as life gets busier and, back into normal routine? Is that going to be something that they still hold precious to them? Because sometimes it's easy to forget.
So lots of great things here. Listening to more podcasts when in the car.
Permaculture, that's cool. We're definitely getting into the gardening side of things too. I love that.
Dance, music has come up several times. So what I want to do is make sure that you are now becoming more deliberate. Sometimes it's happenstance, but when we stop and we breathe and we reflect and going, I know the things I do. And remember, learning is remembering. How do I shift the needle so I'm doing more of that which I love, more of that which has me inspired? And then once I'm filled up, it's okay to check the Facebook feed, to get
check the pulse.
Check the pulse. What's happening? Are there things I should be aware of? Are there things I need to respond on? I literally need to set a timer and go, what can I get through? What can I get through? Because I know the day can disappear. And if I'm really honest, there's days that do, and I feel so yuck. Yeah. I feel so heavy. I'm of no benefit to no one. I'm not coming from an inspired or an empowered place. So I would suggest, if you're the person who wants to do that, but don't do it at the start of the day. Do the things that light you up first, which we're going to do over the 7 days, and then spend your whatever it is, but put a time limit on it. What are the things you're going to watch that are dark, or the latest releases, and then sandwich it, bookend it with something else that gets you out of the state. Because if you want to then get on with your life purpose, inspire people, you need to bookend the darkness with the light.
Totally. So Penny's saying doing breath work and healing, that's amazing. Also connecting in nature, starting a side business, that's awesome, Luke. Always good to inspire with
Tanina
that.
and her Zumba.
Bit of Zumba, I love that. Beach walk parties, yoga, music, I like this. Helga, I'm 73, and since I've met you guys, I've decided to practice becoming a lighthouse. That's beautiful. Paying it forward, that's so special.
Mother Earth,
beautiful. Sound therapy. So here's the thing that I would say, guys, is whatever you're writing down and seeing pop up from others as well, you have to be, like Anthony was saying, deliberate. So that actually means you need to get organized, because it's so easy. Imagine you've got to go for a drive in the car. If you don't already have the podcast subscribed to, or the Audible book downloaded, or the playlist in Spotify ready to go, then you can easily just whack the radio on and just be doing things by default, right? And so that's where you want to put time aside to actually be deliberate in what it's going to look like for you. So like I've got my favorite podcasts ready and I'm subscribed to them, so they automatically update all the time. Before I go for my walk in the mornings, I'll always choose one, have that ready, download it, put my phone on airplane mode so I'm not connected to any yucky stuff while I'm walking, and then I'm out and I'm making the most of it. Otherwise, it's just as easy to, listen to some garbage. But if you focus first and you can get yourself organized, and that way you're setting yourself up to win, which is so important.
So we do have a resource page here for you. It is not extensive by any means, but some things to watch. We're a big fan of Brene Brown.
She's amazing.
Subscribe to some YouTube channels or BitChute now of people like Les Brown, Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, people like John Maxwell, people who you listen to them and it gets you in a great state. You fill your mind with incredible things.
Yeah.
I've put on there the vision workshop because that's just going to be available soon. The other thing that I can't see now is the...
Sorry, I was just getting it. There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Is the government hasn't really put out health mandates that have anything to do with health or wellness. So I did a post in the Empowered Lifestyle Revolution group asking what would you mandate, and there was some beautiful answers there, as well as we have a great network. My background was chiropractic and wellness, and same with Kate. So we're going to do a workshop as well on what are the things truly you can do to build wellness into your body.
Yeah.
The other thing is we did that documentary. So things that you want to focus on to build your health, build your energy, raise your vibration. The other...
Oh, sorry.
Things to listen to. Kate does have a podcast. I am going to brag about it. It is all about uplifting women. Guys, they'll relate to a bit, but not so much. I love the John Maxwell podcast. There's also one called Entre Leadership if you want to start to build that entrepreneurial spirit.
Great for the business peeps, for sure.
And then audio books, things like The 5-Second Rule, Grit, The Power of Vulnerability, You Are the Placebo is what they've been listening to with Joe Dispenza. And then there's the two books that I mentioned there. So Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl, Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand, You Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. Very masculine, those three. Around finances, if you are looking at the bank account, no money coming in, looking at the bank account, no, what you're allowing in there, you're visualizing, and that's what's going to come up. But if you're actually getting into, well, what are the people who have created the greatest wealth? When did they do it? When did they do it? Tell me. The people who created the greatest wealth, they all did it during times of crisis, times of downswing. And so you need to start to build the beliefs, put things into your mind, study the traits of the wealthy people. So Millionaire Mind, and then the other one I had there, Kate's taken down.
Anyway, it's in your resources, and one of the things that I don't know who just said it, but I think this is really important too, is actually, Debbie, sometimes it's also good to take the pressure off and do nothing. I completely agree. Go sit under a tree, go get in the sunshine, go put your feet in the sand, and actually not have an agenda. That is a good thing too. Just connect with yourself and the people around you that matter most. I think that's amazing. So after today, what we actually have some steps or a challenge for you to declare some things, and one of those things we would love you to do is share some of the resources that you love that's kind of really changed the game for you as well. So we'll give you that just when we wrap up, but would really love you to pay it forward to everyone else in this community, because if there's something you've come across that's inspired you in some way, no doubt it's going to inspire other people within this amazing group too.
So that's what this community is about. I'm not going to provide all the resources. I am one perspective. I'll continue to put in the things I know have made a difference to us. And more is not better. If you just today made a declaration, and if you already know what it is, declare publicly in this comment, this is what I'm stopping or reducing. And then the thing is, what am I adding or starting? And if you make it really simple and you just took one negative away, added one positive, and we build upon that over 7 days, progress is happiness. You want to focus on the momentum, not having to be perfect. And I love what was just brought up, that focus on what you're doing great. Most of us, when we talk about being in, is what I want to do to wrap this up. how would you speak to you if you were speaking to your 3, 4, 5-year-old self? Probably not the way you do. It's all the little internal comments, thoughts, instead of having such reverence, such love, such joy, such honor, such respect for who you are in your soul, in your spirit, and that you are a spiritual being having a physical experience. And whatever you don't love about your body, who cares? And starting to focus on the traits and the characteristics and the values, being gentle on yourself. Because when you do that, you're not going to be so judgmental externally. The people who are the most judgmental on the outside, they're being more it's because they have such judgment for themselves.
It's so true.
Is it true?
Yeah.
If Kate said it's true, it's true.
Stop it.
Can you imagine our life when the screen goes off? It's no different to this.
Sometimes you're not right, but you are on that.
There was that one time.
Yeah. But I'm just reading everyone's comments, and it's just beautiful to see, because right now, the truth is, if we didn't give you any advice over these 7 days and you just actually scheduled some time to ask yourself the questions, you have everything that you need within you to live an incredible life. Most of us doubt ourselves. Most of us forget. Most of us compare ourselves to other people, or where we thought we should be, or, oh, I'm this old, I thought I'd have this sorted. Oh, I've got this many kids, I thought my body would look this way and it doesn't. Whatever it is. And so, I want you just to acknowledge that, you have this within you. We're just causing you to, and I'm glad you're actually scheduling time to think about it and think about how you can start to change the course of where life is going for you. Because everyone has the ability to do that, and you get to choose what you tune into and what you tune out of. So just, I guess, in wrapping up today, I'm so grateful for how you've played full out. It's been beautiful. My challenge to you is that you go live or you post in the group the answers to what we were just touching on. What are you choosing to stop doing? What are you choosing to start doing? And what's something that you have done that's inspired you, that's maybe pulled you out of a funk or keeps you, getting focused on the things that matter. So go live in the group. And I saw someone saying they're being hesitant to go live about their business. Well, this is your challenge, is to go live in this community and share that and make a public declaration of what you're committed to from today forward. And will we have days that we stuff it up? Yes, that's okay. We all do. But just start to focus. How are you going to wake up tomorrow morning? What are you going to look at first thing? Let's not have it be this. Let's have it, be getting outside and focusing on the things that you actually want to attract and create more of. So I'm excited for just to see all of this, and we're going to be in there and watching and reading and really taking in what you're committed to, and know that everyone else in this community is going to help hold you accountable too, but from a place of love, not judgment. And so I think you also might have heard us speak about Operation Underground Railroad, which is the movement, or just an incredible cause that we've become really passionate about. And some of you have said, like, how can we say thank you? And the first thing is by following through on what you're learning, not just for yourself, but for the people around you as well. But the second thing is, if you feel compelled to help be able to make a difference to this amazing cause. And so I'm just going to share in our group, if you go to if you go to in the unit section, you'll see a start here unit, and there is a little thing here that says support Operation Underground Railroad. And so if you click on that, there's a link that goes straight to the fundraiser. where our goal is over time to raise $10,000 towards this amazing cause. And so I just wanted to show that to you there. When you go onto the website or the fundraising page, you'll see this already. I want to say a big thank you because you've already had $340 from people within this community who've already donated. So mega thanks. As a reminder as well, it is in US dollars. So the smallest amount you can donate is $5, which might be around, 7 or 8 Aussie. But if you feel compelled, that would just be absolutely amazing. And we'd be so grateful for that. But just wanted to let you know where that is. And we will be sending you an email with the link to the resources after today, as well as the link if you do want to pass this on and have friends or family join us in this challenge. And we would absolutely love you to do that as well.
What a great first day. I love the level of engagement, the level of honesty, of vulnerability. And I think that's the thing. If you want deep relationships with people, you got to go first. You got to share what your fears are, what your concerns are, what you love, and that allows the space for other people to do that. So I'm already really loving the vibe in here, and what a great first day. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll send you a little email about what time that is. But I would really encourage you not to just step back into life now. While you have this brewing in your mind, while you're in this emotional state, make your commitments, make the declarations, do something towards your goal while you're in this state.
So tomorrow is going to be 11 a.m. We'll be going live in this group as well. We're just figuring out what time during the weekdays is going to be best because we know people have, kids in school or they're homeschooling or there's work and things like that. So we'll let you know about the weekdays and what times, and we'll have that locked in at a regular time moving forward as well. But of course, you can watch the replay if you can't join us live too. So don't forget, get into the community. I want you to either do a live or do a public post and say what you're committed to, what you're going to stop doing, what you're going to start doing, and what's something that you have done that has inspired you into action where you want to go so that we can help the rest of the community. Wow. Someone's taken over the DJ. Okay, stop. No. All right, everyone. Lots of love. Have a beautiful evening. And when you have dinner tonight, my one little last thing is I want you to sit down at your dinner table, and whoever's sitting there with you, I would love you to ask a question. And I'd love you to ask, what are you grateful for today? It's something we do in our home every night, whoever's at our dinner table, and the conversations and what comes up out of our little ones' mouths are just absolutely beautiful. And it has you, again, focus. You were asking a quality question. We're going to focus on quality answers, right? And so I want you to think about, what are you grateful for today? But ask that of the people that are at the dinner table as well. And what we do in our home is the one person is sharing, everyone else listens. We might ask a question to be curious about what they're talking about, but then it goes to the next person. And it's just something that, it's easy to do and it's also easy not to do, but it does change the feeling of your family or your friends that are around you as well. So lots of love, everyone. Congratulations on day one, and we'll see you all tomorrow at 11 a.m. Sydney time. Bye.